Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be taking apart my door lock because the door stopped opening from the outside, and thank God it's the passenger side door because I don't know how I'd be able to live. But I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in it. So as you can see, I already got started. I took the door handle off, I took the beam off that goes around over there, and I started kind of messing with it, but I decided that I'm just going to go ahead and make a video on this. So if you don't know how to take off a door card off an e36, it's fairly simple. If you don't know how, then I guess look up a video. So really quickly before I continue, here's what the issue is. So this is the door handle that goes to the inside of the car, and you can see we have the door locked and it barely wants to move. It moves, but just a little bit. And when you lock it, so let's say that's locked, and I pull the door handle over here, it doesn't want to go anywhere, doesn't want to lock, unlock, and if it does, then it only barely moves. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. So before you go ahead and rip off your whole assembly over here, you're going to want to go ahead and just lube everything up, and if that doesn't help you, like it didn't help me, as you can see over here, then you can go ahead and start removing everything. So the first step that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you know how exactly this mechanism works. So as you can see, there's these two little beams. One is right here and the other one is right there. So step one of trying to remove this whole assembly is unbolting all three of these bolts. See on the assembly right there, number 2, you're going to want to kind of push it up and slide it towards the outside of the door, so that way. I'll go ahead and show you how I do this just so that you guys can get a better picture of it. Watch how I pick it up a little bit. Just like that. And I kind of slide it out. So that's very simple, very easy, and it's not really hard to remove it. So the second step is going to be removing this little rod right there. And for that, obviously, if you can see right there, how the little grommet holds it in, you're just gonna have to push it out towards the inside of the car, so towards that way. So nothing hard. Let me see if I can show you guys. Boom, and that's it. And then the assembly should just start falling down. Now I know that some of you might have noticed that I don't have the locking mechanism, and that's because I already took it out. But in order to take it out, you just kind of have to pop it down a little bit, make sure the whole assembly kind of goes down, and wiggle it around. You guys will get it eventually. It's not hard either. So for the next step to take out the whole mechanism, you don't have to move it around too much. All you got to do is just kind of bring it over here to this point, tilt it outwards, and just take it out like that. It's fairly simple, nothing hard. So in my case, what the problem was, I noticed that this piece right here, it has a little indentation like that, this little part right there, and it kind of indents inside. So what I already did is I kind of undented it, made it straight. I don't know if it's going to affect anything, but as you can see right here, and it sits nice and flush over there now. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to do the first test. This is closed. That's a weird feeling. All right, my arm broke off. That's the issue. Usually when you pull the outside handle, this arm right here, it's supposed to move, but it's not moving. If I move this handle, it should pull it. Yep, see? It'll pull it there. And you can even see the arm just moving around really easily. So that's the issue. So fortunately, I've had an E36 for long enough to know that you should have spare parts always laying around. So here's the second door that I'm going to be pulling out this little arm out of. So unfortunately, you can't just pull the whole arm off. You're going to need to pull off the whole mechanism right there. So as you can see in here, it works, which is how it's supposed to be. So this is how it's supposed to work. But mine doesn't even work like that. So first step is removing this little mold trim right here, and my weathering is ruined over here as well, so I'm gonna have to replace that. But first thing you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to push this metal beam, this one right here, you're gonna have to push it towards the left, and you can do that by using this little slot right here. You're gonna need an L-shaped tool to kind of hook it up and push it towards the outside. All right, now once you push this thing inside, that piece right there, you can see it right there, it's actually easier to do it through this hole right here rather than going through here, because through here it's a little easier if you have like an L-shaped thing and you push it inside, so basically this way, and then and only then this should come loose and just pop right off. So I already did it on my other handle as well, and I did it here. So now the next step is to pull this little pin back, and you got to pull this out so that the door handle is kind of a little bit shaky, and then you can tell right here on the little keyhole thing, there's these 4 slots. What you're gonna need to do is take a screwdriver or something and kind of bang on it so that it turns left. And so it unscrews so that the whole door handle can just fall inside and down. So it's the second day here, but the work continues. So I took out the pin over here, and now I have to just finish unscrewing this piece right here that holds the lock inside, and then this whole assembly should just fall out. I also found that the door handle is like broken in this spot right here and over there. I'm pretty sure that's what led to the initial arm breaking off on the inside of the whole mechanism. A little side tip, when you're taking this piece off right here, there's gonna be a little gasket behind it, and just make sure to not lose this, because all of these things, they keep the door handle and the lock, they keep all of these things running smoothly, and so that the water doesn't get in and mess up the whole mechanism, and so it doesn't get rusty and just start working like crap. So make sure not to lose that, keep it in a safe place. Now as for the pin on the right side and the back, this is going to be the little thing that holds it in place, and basically what you're going to need to do is take a screwdriver and lift this little flap right here. So pick it up, push it upwards, and there's a little opening right there on this side, and just kind of slide it out, and you can see it starts sliding, and then you'll be able to take the whole door assembly off as soon as you get that pin out, and you should have no problems taking it out after that. So after you freed up both sides, the door handle will just be moving around freely and nothing's really holding it in place. The only thing that's going to be in the way is this window right here. So I tried to take the lazy step and just kind of move this bar around by unbolting these 2 bolts and the bolts that are at the bottom as well. And this bar will not move if you don't get it out of the way. So how to do that is just basically unclip the window regulator pins right there, and the one on that side from pins that look like this. Basically what I would do then is hold the window, or have someone else hold the window, because if you do have tint, it will scratch up your tint. And I would kind of pull the window regulator back, already disconnected, and just drop down the window regulator so the scratching points right there, they don't touch the window and they're not able to scratch it. After that, you're gonna have to kind of lower your window a little further down to where you could see this little brass part right there, and just undo these 2 bolts or nuts, because then you will safely be able to remove this bar without scratching the window, and you could just drop the whole window down. After I do that, I'll show you guys what to do next. So after unbolting the bolts and taking this brass bar out, you can see the roller right there. This is the kind of sticky situation you want to be in, where the window's kind of moving. So you want to move it all the way up, and then and only then are you going to have to tip it down, and you'll be able to take out the handle on the other side. So after wiggling for a long time, I was able to do it, but sadly, I kind of scratched up the door handle right here. Hopefully the other one will look cleaner, because this one's kind of useless to me anyway, since it's already broken. So as you can see, I have my actual door handle, and I have the replacement, and you can see the damage. That arm is over there, whereas over here it's broken off. So that's why I'm replacing this assembly right here for that one. And basically how I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to take the lock system out of that door, and I'm going to take the lock system out of this door, and I'm going to put this lock system into this door handle. And it's a little easier than it sounds. I noticed that it might sound a little tricky, but basically all you're going to have to do is kind of knock this pin out to one or the other side, which after you'll have to stick your key into this lock right here, and you'll be able to take it out just like I already did on this side right here. See, there's no pin right there, and I'm just able to turn it and take it out easily. So I'm gonna start off with removing this pin right here, and how I'm gonna do that is I'm just gonna grab a little tiny screwdriver and just kind of start banging on one side of it until it pops out on the other side, and at that point you'll just need your key. Okay, so I got the clip out, as you can see right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and flip this thing over, take my key, just gonna stick it in there, turn it. I need something to hold it, and you should just be able to take it out. So now I'm gonna go ahead, and you can see right here there's gonna be 3 little arrows, but there isn't one at the bottom. So basically the arrow that's in the middle, that's the arrow that points up. So just go ahead and stick it in exactly that same way. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put the pin in the back, and I'll let you guys know if it worked. Alright, so I jumped ahead and just decided not to film the annoying parts. So I installed the handle already. You can see it right there. It works really nice. And you can see that the inside mechanism also works. So the arm works just like I needed to. The lock key also works, so everything's good. I already put in this pin over here, that right there, secured that threaded piece over there as well, And I even pushed the securing piece for this trim right there as well. You can, like I said before, you can do it from here, but that's just way too hard. And you can either do it from this hole right there. And you could also, what I did, I just took a flathead screwdriver and I just kind of pushed it in through right here. So I just kind of secured it through there. So this was the easiest way to do it because you don't need to push it in too hard, just, you know, just that it locks. So it locked, everything's sitting in one spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and start jumping on to installing the little brass bar as well as the roller. I'm gonna go ahead and lubricate these items as well, just so that they work better. So I'm gonna get started on that and I'll cut back once I do that. Okay, so test after assembly. Oh, that's smooth. That's butter. I still didn't put the door panel back on because I just kind of want to clean up the door panel, but overall, I got all the wires tucked away. Everything's nice. I just need to put a zip tie right here and a zip tie over here. And it's gonna sit flush and perfect, and the window's not gonna be hitting against any of the wires. So really happy with the outcome, especially with how it opens. And how it closes also. Like, that sounds perfect to me. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it for this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed it and hopefully you maybe learned something. Good luck to whoever needed this video because that whole job is not one of the prettiest ones. I expected it to be like an hour, maybe 2, but I didn't expect to take it on to the second day because just a few things that I wanted to kind of perfect, and just so that I didn't have to return back to the assembly later. So thanks for watching. Click the subscribe button, click the like button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.